Like you're like, it's crappy, but once you get into post and start editing,
dude,
you're like,
that's the cool thing. Like even like today, I took a picture, and I was like, oh, it looks cool. You know, it looks great. And then I took it into my editor and just kind of like adjusted the colors a little bit and like made everything pop out through color grading, and it just transformed the image. It was like, whoa.
Right.
Like I thought it already looked pretty cool, you know?
Yeah,
it's weird how shit like that can
just boosting a couple tones and taking some away, and you're like, whoa.
So, hey, I pushed record, and we are here hanging out with Coyote Bear. What's going on, brother?
Not much, man. I was like, man, I might not be the best guest you have, but I wanted to be the sweatiest guest you have.
Hell yeah, dude. I rode my bike down here after work, and I'm always sweating my ass off as soon as I get here, every time.
Yeah.
So you're just down at the Knickerbocker grabbing a brew before we came down?
Yeah, I went and busked on Main for a little bit because they're doing the First Friday art walk stuff. I think they used to call it something different, but now it's First Friday.
That's cool. Is that still happening right now, or did they shut that down?
No, I think it's until like 10 or 11.
Sweet, dude. I'm going to mosey on down there after this.
Yeah, it's just like all the galleries around town stay open. And and so I knew there were people walking out, so I was busking for a little bit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet. And so you just did a show, like a couple weekends ago at Digby's?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
It was great. It was funny story. So we were getting set up, and there was a friend that was there talking to me, and she was like volunteered to help.
Yeah.
And she plugged like 2 extension cords into an outlet, and as soon as those cords went in, the power went out.
Oh.
For the whole city.
Oh.
But at first we thought it was just Digby's, and we're like, oh fuck, we like blew.
Yeah.
Is it okay to cuss?
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. Yeah. Whatever.
So we're like, oh shit, we blew the whole, the power. And then we realized that it was the whole city. We're like, we didn't do that. Like, we just thought we blew the Digby's one.
What the fuck?
So it was a late start.
Yeah.
But I like walked around and played some stuff acoustic and tried to
Nice.
keep people engaged. And
That's fucking cool.
Yeah. And they kind of stayed open, like serving stuff over candlelight inside. And
Fun.
Yeah. My least favorite book of all time is Moby Dick, and but there's a really interesting part in the beginning of Moby Dick where they talk about like old timey bars and stuff, and it was like walking into Digby's when the power was out. It was like a lot like that. Like you could get that feeling.
Did you ever?
Of how dark a bar can be,
dude? I have one example of that. And did you ever go to Crawdaddy's? It was right on Main. It's where the Goat is now.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes.
It was all lit. It was like this Cajun blues bar, and it was all lit by candlelight.
That's forever ago.
Dude, yeah, it was a long time ago, but that place was the shit.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's where I cut my teeth. I would do open mics in high school. I would down at Skylight.
Okay, yeah, same.
Hell yeah. And then, every now and then get some gigs, and that was like one of my first, I was playing at a bar. I was like 15.
Yeah.
It was fucking cool. So just walk down there, like you played at the top of the stairs, and just I don't even know if we plugged into anything. I think we just strummed acoustically.
Okay,
but it was a good time.
I've had gigs like that.
Hell yeah, it was fun. Good times, dude. Oh yeah, I just had this the other day, and I was like, I got to get it twice and check it out. The Big Pine.
Yeah, I love it, man. I've got some friends that live out on the Big Pine Creek, and it's really cool that they're doing that.
Yeah, dude.
Clean waters thing.
Yeah, it's amazing. There was, what was the farm out there? I don't know if you ever heard of it. There was like a homestead. There's shit, I don't know. There's people right on the Big Pine though, and they brought people out and like for classes and taught them about permaculture and sustainable agriculture and all that fun stuff. That was cool. So traveling broke.
Yeah.
What's going on? Are you guys still playing and stuff?
We haven't in about a year. The last thing we did was a benefit for Jesse Corbett at Digby's.
Yeah.
We played forever, and we went hard in the paint, touring all over the country, and went over to Europe and did all that stuff, had a blast. But I think when COVID came around, like we are all like, this is a time that we can take a break.
Yeah.
And we just haven't picked it back up.
Yeah.
I don't know that we're done, but like we just kind of like all.
Yeah, that's what happened with Shorty and the Chef too. Like we were on a hell of a streak. We were just kicking ass for a couple years, and then COVID hit and just kind of put the brakes on everything.
Right.
And then, shit happens, dude. And
Yeah.
it's tough to kind of pull that shit back together sometimes.
For sure. Yeah, we played like I think 1 or 2 shows in the peak of the pandemic. Like we were trying to do like a social distance show and at this party on 4th of July. And I remember it was so weird to me. Like, cause I was like, the thing you want to do as a musician is get as many people as possible.
Yeah, that's
together.
That's the whole
as
goal.
As close as possible.
You pack them in.
And it's like the complete opposite thing that you want to do in a pandemic. So I was
dude,
like, I don't know. This thing feels
I know,
so weird.
That was tough. We played a few shows, but like nothing much.
Yeah.
It was pretty quiet.
Right.
Excuse me. Pretty quiet for like, I don't know, 18 months.
Yeah.
Until shit, like, people kind of peek their heads out and were willing to try shit out again. Mm-hmm. Such a crazy time, dude. But now we're coming out of that, and, like, I think people are just more eager to be out and about and experiencing
for sure
live music and entertainment again. And so that's
I've
cool.
noticed that quite a bit.
Yeah.
It seems like people are eager for it. And
more attentive. Like, I was talking about this, I don't know, a few days ago with a buddy, and it's just like I don't know, like an appreciation or something. Like, you just feel like, you're more willing to live in the moment and kind of experience local music. I feel like local bands and local music around the country is just kind of becoming more appreciated, and that's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, I'd agree with that for sure. It's I can only guess it's just because it was taken away. Right?
Yeah,
so that
totally.
The people that were in, I mean, I don't know that there's like, I'm seeing more people at shows, but it seems like the people that are there are more attentive, like you're saying.
Yeah.
Like they're like the ones they were going to shows before, but now they're like, don't take it away again.
Don't take it away. I'm going to all that I can.
Yeah.
Totally, dude.
I would agree with that. Yeah. And I'm kind of in the same boat. I've been trying to make an effort to go to more shows than granted with kids and stuff, and just I get lost in my own music, so it's like sometimes I have to have a reminder to go out. But
and that's kind of why I started this thing up too. Is I want to just kind of dive into this music community and really just get to know everybody on a personal level, get to know all these local bands and all of these people who have been an integral part of the music community around Lafayette for a long time. And then as well as like people coming through, like I know Peoples has a lot of awesome bands that come from out of town every week.
Yeah.
So talk with people like that too, but really just kind of like build a community with my own community that's right here of all sorts of fucking awesome musicians and people. And I'd like to get to know them and learn something from 'em myself if I can. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So that's kind of like my mission, I guess, with this thing, is I really wanted to get out more and interact more with the music community. And this is kind of my attempt at doing that, bringing everybody on and trying to amplify everybody's signal and what they're doing.
Far out. That's pretty cool.
Hell yeah. So how long have you been playing music? Take us back.
Yeah. I think I was 15.
Mm-hmm.
I was just telling this story the other day. I was like, so I grew up in a household that was like super, like we listened to music.
Yeah.
My parents had like good record collections and stuff, but nobody played music. It was like very sports and work oriented, right? So I remember, and everybody that was around me was kind of the same way growing up, like in my neighborhood.
Okay.
I think it was in like the 7th or 8th grade. I went over to a buddy's house and he had a drum set. And I was like, what? Like people play music?
Yeah.
It like blew my fucking mind.
That's awesome.
Because I had never been exposed to like an instrument really.
That's fucking cool. So did you hop behind and try to...
I did. I messed around, but I was scared, and I was like, this is cool or whatever. But then
it's loud.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to be this loud?
Right. And I remember that movie, That Thing You Do. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, totally.
had just come out, and so he like my buddy jumped behind him, was like playing that rhythm from that song, and I was like, whoa, that's fucking crazy. And then, then I went over to another buddy's house, and her brother started playing My Name Is Mud by Primus, and that like changed my fucking life.
Hell yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is
Deep
this?
cut.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
and he like taught me how to play that, and then so
Sweet.
I was like begged my parents to give me drums and all this shit for years, and then I got like a Marc II like Walmart drum set, and started taking some lessons.
Hell
and,
yeah. So you got started out playing drums.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mostly because I'm just like, because of that, like my first introduction was drums, but I also used to be pretty aggressive, and it was like really like attractive to me to just like bang on shit.
Yeah,
you know?
dude.
And, like,
totally. I could see that.
Yeah, but I think I wanted to do something that was different. Like at that point, by the time I got in drums, I was friends with musicians, and they were all playing guitar. I was like, I want to do something different.
Yeah.
And
Fill in the gap.
yeah. So I was like strictly a drummer for a while, like I don't know, until maybe I was like 21, maybe 20. No, I was 20 when I got my first guitar.
Nice.
Yeah, so drums, and then I kind of learned harmonica a little bit in there, and then I was traveling for a while, and drums weren't really like, I was playing hand drums and stuff, but it wasn't really like.
Yeah, it's not the same. I mean, it's circumstantial.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah. But then I helped this guy move, and he gave me a guitar, and then like tried to figure that thing out. I learned like 2 chords, and I was like, cool, I got a song.
Yeah. Yeah. You learn 2 tunes, you're like, wait a second. I can write something to this of my own.
Yeah.
Create a melody. So, then did you transition to more guitar after that?
Yeah, slowly but surely. I still like drumming, but I rarely do it. And but whenever I do it, I'm like, I love this.
Yeah.
You know? But I definitely pick up the guitar when I want to play music. So.
Hell yeah! So that's like it's your main instrument now.
Yeah, it's
What
weird.
do you say?
For sure, it's definitely my main instrument. But what's weird to me, if I think about it, is that like I feel like I can be more expressive with drums. Like I'm more comfortable behind the drum set than I am behind a guitar.
Oh, okay.
But I play guitar more.
Yeah, I feel
To me, it's like a notebook, right? Like I write songs with the guitar, but I'll write them with the drum set.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, and that leads into a cool question: is how do you write your tunes? Do you write the music first or lyrics first, or does it vary?
It's super varied, man.
Yeah.
That's like a really big question I could talk about for days.
Hey, we got time, dude.
Yeah.
So like,
So the best songs I feel like come, and I hear this from so many great songwriters, and it's weird because I'm not a religious person, and I don't necessarily believe in a higher power, but I haven't ruled it out.
yeah,
But I hear this time and time and time again from great creatives, in that the best songs feel like a spiritual download. Like it feels like it didn't come from you. You're like, where the fuck did this thing come from? Like it just happens.
Yes.
It happens so quickly. But I also I know a bunch of tricks where I can grind it out and make it happen, right? But it's like, but the best ones just come, and they happen so fast. It's like a reggae song in the background.
Ooh, that'll just be hanging out in the background. But whatever.
Yeah.
Someone will get it, right?
Yeah.
They'll get it. But yeah, anyway.
But yeah, sometimes it's a beat, sometimes it's like a melody, or sometimes it's just a phrase.
Yeah.
And it's like, it almost always happens when I'm not looking for it, right? Like I'm walking down the street, or I'm driving in the car, or I'm doing yard work or whatever.
Sorry, I can't fucking focus. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Anyway.
So it's always like when I'm not paying attention, it's like this phrase will pop in my head, or a melody or whatever, or a beat, and then I'm like, what is that? And I'll chase it, and then it comes.
That's very similar to the way I do shit too. Like, I've tried all sorts of different methods. Holy shit. No way. Anyway, I've tried all sorts of different methods where I will try to write the music and then write around it. And then I've done it to where I've tried to just write like poetry style and just write words.
Yeah.
But that never, I don't know. It always seems to work out like you were saying, just I catch on to some phrase. And then from there, it's like, oh, okay, there's the idea.
Yeah.
And then you try to start building on that, you know?
Yeah. What I've learned over the years is to, like when you have the music that you want to write to or whatever, or the beat or the whatever, or if you have a phrase and a song's not coming, like to like basically keep like some sort of bone pile, right? Like whether that's like on a tape or your voice memo on your phone or whatever. And then when you're chasing that idea that just came to you, if you ever hit a point where you feel blocked, or just pull up all the shit that you've collected over the years and
like
be like,
that.
does any of this work? And
Yeah.
usually none of it does.
Yeah.
But all those bad answers leave you to the right.
Yeah,
lead to the
it'll
right
give you
answer.
some spur of creativity there.
Yeah, you're like, that doesn't work, that doesn't work, that doesn't work, that
But
doesn't work.
this-
Yeah, but that could work.
Ooh, wait a second.
Yeah.
I'm onto something. And then, dude, that's totally. I think you and I write very similarly. Like I use my voice memos religiously, you know, and that's how most of my songs are born. Is I will write tunes and just record them, so I will spend a lot of my time at work writing. So I drive a truck, and I have a lot of time just by myself chilling.
Yeah.
So before I go to work, if I'm working on a tune, I will record it, and then I'll record it, and then just sit in the truck all day and just listen to that shit over and over until I kind of get something. Or I might have like a hook or phrase or chorus line or something going on. And that'll kind of be my starting point, and then listen throughout the day and just try to write verses, you know. And that's usually how I write most of my shit. Is I write lately, especially because it's kind of turned into my process almost, where I'll create music and like part of lyrics, and then I will hash it all out at work, and I'll really kind of try to dig in and take the concept to a different place during those hours while I'm driving.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing lately.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's definitely one way I do it. Like I said, I've learned throughout the years tons and tons of tactics, and they all are good, and I like rely on them to get me songs, and to help. Like I've been getting into co-writing, and I mostly use the things that I've learned in tricks and whatever to help with co-writes, because usually when you're doing a co-write, like you don't have time to put the song down.
Yeah.
Or like in a session, we both set aside time where we're going to make a song happen. So it's like you have to pull out all these tricks to just keep it going. But I said a million times over, the songs that just come. That's the best ones.
My best songs, my most favorite songs, have all been written in one sitting.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it just, it all just comes out of you. You know.
Yeah, and I think sometimes it's like justified with like the listener response, but sometimes I wonder if like as songwriters we just feel that way because it's so effortless that we feel like that's like
it's too cheap.
We caught the lightning in the bottle.
Totally.
You know? We're like that's the one.
It can't be. It can't be good. Like how people. It came too easy to me. You know what I mean? Like there has to be something. But that's the muse, dude. That's that fucking force that just comes out of nowhere and slaps you in the face and gives you a song.
Yeah.
You know, and
yeah.
that fucking car alarm is driving me nuts, dude.
So good.
It's been up 3 times.
Yeah. It's my favorite part at this point. It's like car alarms don't work. They don't work.
No, obviously.
Yeah. I've been laughing about that forever, but it's just like I've never in my life like gotten up and be like, oh, someone's trying to steal my neighbor's car. I'm just like, shut the fuck up.
Totally. Totally. It's never made anyone just jump out of bed.
Like, we're gonna go save the day. Yeah. They're like, shut up.
Shut that fucking car off. So funny, dude. Yeah, we're just trying to like break down music and everything, and then yeah, we got to write a song to that one, dude.
That's good. I like it, man. It's a good
dude. So, are you recording anything acoustic?
Have
you ever
like just me?
Yeah, just you, like doing solo stuff?
I set out to do that a while back, but then like as soon as I started recording, I was like started hearing all these other instruments, and I was like, I'm not ready for it. It's so weird. Like I want to. I think part of it is like I don't trust my sound enough. Like I'm not that strong of a singer. I'm not that strong of a guitar player. So it's like I can get all these other musicians to like elevate my songs, and I think they're awesome songs that way. And they probably are good stripped. Like my brother is like my biggest fan, and he's always like, "It's fucking way better without the
whole ensemble,
the organ." Or whatever.
I totally feel that, dude. Like that's how I feel a lot of times, and that's what really prevents me from there's so many people that go out and they gig every weekend and they're just playing acoustic stuff, you know, and that gives me so much like anxiety. Like I don't know, because I hear all the other sounds, I hear all the other pieces, and you know, like
I feel like I could gig like that. I have I have the experience, and it's like that's a different type of magic. It's like performance. Like if the second I find one person who's engaged, I can just like run off that,
Hang out with them,
and I can build it, right?
Yeah.
And it's like because you're just at that point you're just telling stories and you're having a conversation, and that's all it is.
Yeah.
And I can do that, but when you like get under the microscope of recording, that's when it gets scary for me. For me,
yeah.
And it's so much fun to add stuff.
I feel like I almost feel the opposite. So like I have no fear with like releasing shit. I say fuck it. And I put it out. Yeah. You know, and sometimes, you know, it's better than others. Sometimes it's shit. But what really gives me that like anxiety is the live performances, because I want to just do good. I want to have, because I've had, you know, we've all had gigs that are fucking awesome, and then we've all had gigs that are duds, and you know, just not a really receptive audience, and that shit like fills me with anxiety so bad. Totally.
Yeah, I was just, when we're performing, I was trying to remember that like my favorite show that I've ever seen, like, there was somebody on that stage that was like, that was fucking awful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were like, I missed all my parts and whatever, but I didn't notice because I had a great time.
That's a great point.
It's because when you're performing, it's like you can't, unless you're recording it, can't go back and be like, did they hit that?
Yeah.
Did they hit that bridge on time? Like, you're just like, you're there.
It's there. It's happening.
You're vibing, and it's like if they miss the note, like it might catch your ear for half a second, but then you're back. You're right in the next measure.
Yep.
But with recording, it's like if they're like, I love that song, and you put it on and you listen to it for the third time, and you're like, what the fuck is that weird?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then that's another thing too, is like you can just keep editing and trying to polish like recorded material until you just never release it.
Yeah.
You know, you can keep holding on to it and holding on to that shit.
I've got a couple songs like that where it's like, I demoed them. I loved the way, and I was like, I'm going to make this better. And then it just like, I can't get it where I want it.
Totally.
Like,
and then like, that's like, I've really been trying hard when I get to that point where I think like, okay, it's done. I've listened to it enough times. I feel like it's cool. And like, you listen to it so much and it starts to kind of lose its meaning, you know, and you're like, okay, I can't listen to this anymore or else I will never release it because I'm going to be like, oh no, this song fucking sucks. Or, you know, you get so in your head with it that you just hold on to that shit,
right,
you know, and never drop it. But like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's like the solo stuff. I love doing like full band gigs and shows. I don't have any sort of anxiety with that. Like, because I don't know. It's just a party. You're all up there just rocking and having fun. But like when I'm up there solo, I feel like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm not good enough to be doing what I'm doing. Yeah. You know?
I definitely get that. Full band shows are way better. Like it's just the shared experience, and you're all just out there just rocking.
The vibe.
Party. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, did you and Traveling Broke, you guys released what? How many albums do you have? 2, right?
No, I think it's 4 studio albums, and then we did like a demo. The first record we ever did, it's kind of funny. It sounded really good, but it was like the way we recorded it was insane. But like we had just like a shitty Radio Shack microphone that I like duct taped the XLR to the ceiling and just like hung it, and we all huddled around it, dude. And I recorded it into like a tape player.
That's fucking cool.
And then I played the tape player into a microphone of a computer to digitize it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was the first time, and some people really like that record.
And when was that? Like what year?
2006
Oh yeah.
or 7.
Oh yeah, dude. That's like back in the days, like before the ease of being able to buy shit. Like
Yeah, it was right on the cusp. Like it was like right when stuff started to become available, and it's like, and studios were still super expensive, and we didn't know.
But it was-
we had no idea what we were doing.
but it was possible to get it on the computer.
Yeah.
And to share it with your friends.
right,
And to like
MySpace was a thing,
and to burn it onto CDs. Oh, MySpace was a thing, totally.
Yeah.
And that like was a game changer. Just being able to get the MP3 file of the shit,
Yeah,
even if
yeah.
it sounded good or not.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I took the microphone from the computer and stuffed it into the speakers of the boombox, and then
Nice.
that's how I converted it to MP3.
Dude, that's so cool.
And it still sounded all right.
Yeah.
It was like, and there's some people that like really like that one.
Yeah.
But we stopped selling it, and once because we re-recorded some of the songs, and we stopped selling that one.
Sure,
And,
you wanted more polished shit. Yeah.
And then we had 4 studio albums, and then there was another album that we did. It was like kind of live stuff that we never like officially released, but we just burned it and sell it at shows. And
Yeah.
then we had it similarly. We did, I think it was 5 or 6 songs. We went to New Jersey and like recorded in a buddy of mine's uncle's garage. He had this like old setup, and we just like did some yard work for him, and he recorded us in his garage.
That's
and
cool.
So technically there's like 7 albums, but we did, it was 4 studio albums.
So, were you the primary writer, or
Yeah.
was that the?
Yep. The first 2 albums, our original guitarist Pavel Abramov is this like amazing dude. One of my greatest friends of all time. Is a Russian math teacher.
Nice.
Lives in Bloomington now, but he wrote about half the songs, and then I wrote about half the songs.
Okay.
And then once he left the band, I pretty much became the primary songwriter.
Yeah.
Our bass player wrote a couple songs, and I think Rachel helped write a couple songs. But yeah, it was pretty much me.
Yeah. That's kind of, that was my role with Shorty and the Chef too. It's definitely, like we would all build the music together, but I would just kind of write the lyric side of it.
Yeah.
And really, I think it's just because when I can get into a zone, I can write quick, you know? And then I'll go through months and months where I can't come up with shit to save my life. You know what I mean? But then, I don't know. Then that all comes down to, am I really trying? Because if I sit down and I think about it and I kind of put myself into the zone, I know I can come up with something. You know?
Yeah, I kind of always feel that way about people that like once you've written a song, you know how to write a song. I feel like the song's always like you can always write another song. It's just a matter of like prioritizing and then your standards, right? So it's like I don't really believe in writer's block. I don't think that's a real thing.
It's just
people getting in their own way, and it's like the song's there. You just like you don't like it. Like I write a song probably every day, but most of them will never ever be shared to anybody.
That's a great way to put it, because that is totally true. Like I'll come up with all sorts of shit, and you're right. It's not that it's writer's block. It's just I don't like what I'm writing right now.
Right.
Yeah. Fuck. That's a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that. So, what would you say is your biggest like influence with your writing style,
So the two people I always bring up, I don't know that they're like you could hear them in my music, but they're my favorite songwriters.
Yeah.
One is Jeff Mangum from Neutral Milk Hotel.
I don't know them.
Yeah. Super niche. He's got a very strange voice, and so people either love him or hate him.
Yeah.
And his songs are pretty out there.
Yeah.
But they're so beautiful if you dive into them. And then Tom Waits is my other it's my favorite songwriter. So, and mostly because it's just like he runs the gambit between like catchy and poppy and like strange and dark and fun and creates all these characters and tells all these stories, and just like more than anybody I've ever come across, like Tom Waits shows you what is possible with a song in every avenue of it, you know. And then I love Leonard Cohen for that same reason.
You ever listen to Bright Eyes?
Yeah, I loved Conor Oberst. Is like
Dude.
I think he's one of the best songwriters that's ever lived.
Fucking brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But he's like more or less like very pigeonholed into a very specific topic, right? Like he does have he's either talking about like the status quo and the government and stuff, or he's talking about like this girl that broke up with him in the 8th grade, but he does it so well.
Oh yeah,
and it's
definitely.
like, and nobody does that better.
Yeah,
I absolutely, I love Brad.
Yeah, he has a way of weaving words that are fucking great.
He has this other band, Desperacidos. I don't know if you know them.
I know the name. I don't know if I've ever heard them.
Yeah, so they never really took off like Bright Eyes did, but it was like early 2000s. It was like he was trying to go more like the punk side of emo, so it's a little harder. And there's a lot more screaming and stuff. Yeah, and
really,
and I listen to that record like once a month. Like,
nice.
There's a record called, I think it's called Read English, Speak Spanish.
And he's writing and singing.
Yeah,
on that. Hell yeah.
It's a lot
I'll
more,
have to check it out.
Yeah, it's a lot more electric guitar and it's loud and it's
not like.
I like to listen to it when I ride my bike and stuff because it's a lot more like up tempo.
Yeah, aggressive.
Yeah,
nice. I'll have to check it out. You have to remind me when we.
Yeah, I'll send it to you for sure.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, I know that he was just on, or was, I don't know, on tour, and I was just kept on. I got like 3 different texts from friends that were checking out shows in different parts of the country. Yeah. I wish I would have. He was in Chicago not long ago, and then. I don't know, somewhere in.
Yeah, I've never seen him live, but I would imagine they put on a great show. Cause he always hires like the best musicians.
Yeah. It was definitely a fucking.
And the arrangements on those records are so beautiful and.
Yeah, I definitely love him. Like I did not appreciate him as much when I was like in high school when everybody was getting into him.
Yeah,
I was always that fucking guy, not on purpose, like, but if things were too popular, like I didn't even fucking Bright Eyes, who was like an underground dude, but like within my friend group he was popular, so I was like, oh, he's okay.
Yeah.
It's fucking great.
I know what you mean. It's a curse, but like for whatever reason, like if somebody recommends a band to me, I'm like, I'm not gonna listen.
Gonna listen because
I'll probably listen to it, but it'll be 7 years from now and I'll be pissed off that they're not touring anymore.
Yeah. Totally,
but
dude.
I'm not gonna listen to them right now.
Yeah, because everybody else. Yeah, that's my worst. Well, not my worst. One of my least favorite attributes, I would say.
Yeah, I share that for sure. I would say lucky enough though that I found Bright Eyes on my own.
Nice.
And nobody around me knew them, and so I was the weirdo that was listening to them, and so I like dove in, and then it was like later that I found out other people thought it was like really cool. And I was like, so I didn't suffer from that particular.
I really got into him when he came out. Oh, you're good. Came out with like, oh shit, I don't even know what the album was called, but it was really good. It was like really. Clash, is that your name or your tribe?
Casadega.
Yeah, Casadega. Love that fucking album.
Honestly, that's the last one I've really listened to.
Yeah. Does he even like?
They're still putting out stuff. The latest one, I've listened to the one they put out. I think it was last year, and it's like real like synthy and poppy, and it's all right, and it still like sounds like Bright Eyes, but I have such a weird association with music, or maybe it's not weird, but I feel like it is. But it's like for me, like most music, I create like some nostalgic connection to it. And so, like, even with new bands, if I find a new band, I'm just going to listen to that band, like, over and over and over and over. And I'm going to, like, learn everything I can about that band and that album or whatever before I move on, right?
Yeah.
And I probably won't listen to any new stuff they do unless I go, like, see them live and buy their record or whatever.
And it won't have that nostalgic feel that it originally did.
Right.
You'd be like, oh, they've changed or something.
Right. Yeah. Unless I see them live and I see them perform that song and it's, like, kick-ass.
That's live is definitely a different vibe because it totally gives you, like, that feeling when you heard it for the first time. And like a lot of people want for larger bands, whatever, when they're going out tour to play the hits. You know what I mean? And then they're not excited when they play some new shit that they wrote. Yeah. You know, but when you see that in a live situation, it's totally different, and it hits you in a totally different way. Like, oh my god, I'm trying to. Oh, okay. AC/DC. AC/DC, they have their classic hits, right? They have all their hits, right? And then they came out with a new album like last year or something. And, whatever. But I'm sure that if you heard it in a live situation, you'd probably appreciate it a little bit more. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that was a bad example.
No,
but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. Like, when I go out to see a band, I for sure want to hear the hits. I want to hear the songs.
Oh, yeah.
The songs that I fell in love with.
Yeah.
But I want to hear new stuff too. Like I want you to show me why this other stuff why
you should. And if they can prove it to you live, then maybe that's the selling point right there.
Yeah.
And it kind of gets you hooked on the newer shit.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, for sure. And it's stupid because it's like as a creator, as someone who's like constantly writing songs, I shouldn't feel that way because like I expect a complete different response from everybody else in the world. But
and then
that's how I am. Like
and like every tune, it comes from a different place and like a different source of inspiration or whatever.
Yeah.
So it could come out different than anything that you put out before. But you like what it's saying, but it might be completely different than shit that you'd put out previously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I don't know, you got to respect taking chances and trying to venture out into some new sounds and, new shit that, I don't know, maybe goes against your base audience or your base sound or whatever that kind of got people attracted to you in the first place.
Yeah. If I think about it, like right now, I think for me, part of it is something I've learned about myself somewhat recently is like, if I'm not listening to music, I'm trying to make music. So like when I'm working, I have to put on music. Otherwise, I'm going to be distracted like writing songs in my head. Because if there's not like music I'm listening to, like I'm like sitting there trying to come up with shit.
Yeah.
Constantly. And in the same sense, if I hear new music, I'm trying to listen to it like completely. Like I want to hear everything. I want to hear what you're saying. I want to hear what the horns are saying, what the drums are saying. And so if I mostly listen to music when I'm working or driving, when my attention is divided. And so I put on stuff I'm familiar with because I can't really like listen to it in that setting.
Yeah, I get you.
Driving's different, but
I have like, I don't know, I've noticed for like the past few years, when I've really tried to hit music harder and really just kind of like go in on it and do it, like play gigs and record and do all that. I find that I don't listen to music a lot because I find if I listen to music too much that it'll start to influence my writing or my melodies and shit. So I find myself listening to a lot of podcasts, and I think that kind of it's a different medium, So like I'm not influenced by, the words that they're saying like I would be music and shit. Like if I listen to something over and over, whatever, then all of a sudden I'm writing a song and it has something, that sounds similar or a chord progression that falls in the same line or whatever. You know what I mean?
I get that for sure.
Yeah.
But in the same sense, though, I feel like it's almost impossible to create something new at this point musically.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's like there's nothing wrong with like listening to your favorite thing and being like, I want to do that.
Yeah. You're right. Like, because every chord progression has been fucking played. Like everything's been.
Yeah, even if you can't connect the dots, they're there.
They're there somewhere. Yeah. Somewhere in the ether, someone has done that.
Right.
And they've put that together and arranged it in that way, and that time signature even, everything.
Yeah.
So and that's the cool thing about music is that there's only so many fucking notes, and yet music has existed since, I don't even know.
Yeah, so when I got started writing songs, I wrote poetry for a long time first, but then when I started writing songs, I was really into folk music, and I just trying to connect it to what we're just talking about. Like one of the things I really loved about folk music was the oral tradition of it, and it's just like you would write a song, you would teach it to me, and then I would go and play it for people in the next town, right? And so I'm playing your song, but because of the way telephone works, I would play it slightly different.
Oh, yeah.
And songs would transform, like, so we, Traveling Broke, we played the song St. James Infirmary Blues forever, like since the beginning of the band. And we would play it in this way that we learned from a guy in Minneapolis, Sneaky Pete Bauer, who's this like blues musician. He played it in this way that we'd never heard it before, and we're like, we're going to play it like that.
Cool.
I started looking into the history of the song, and it comes like 400 years people have been playing that song, but it started off as a song called The Unfortunate Rake, which is about like a prostitute who gets syphilis and dies, and she's like, as she's dying, she's like sees her father or brother. The story changes, and she's like telling her will, right?
Yeah.
And the song then got carried over to the U.S. and became a song called The Streets of Laredo, which is about a cowboy dying because of a gambling debt. And then it moved to New Orleans, and it turned into St. James Infirmary Blues. And so, but it's the same song.
No shit.
And it's like learning that. I was like, I think it's so cool. Like it justifies taking, like, if you hear like a cool, like, I really like how that vocal line follows the bass line and then stops. Like, I want to do something like that. Like, you do it.
Take
like,
your own liberties.
People have been doing that forever.
Dude, I love doing that, like, with cover tunes. I love taking them and making them my own thing.
Yeah.
Like, I might completely fucking rearrange everything about it. Like, well, no, I mean, almost. But like, I might, something like Seven Nation Army. I do my own version of that.
Okay.
Because so when I first started gigging, I was just trying to like think. I was like, fuck, like songs that fill fucking time, and songs that are fun at the bar and shit, So I took that tune, but I made it my own, and I did it all in chords, and I broke it all down, and I think it just is fucking kind of my own unique take on that, and yeah, that's all. I didn't know that about folk music. I didn't know that was kind of it was an oral, like, handed down art.
Yeah, that's there's so many songs like that. They're just like you tweak a verse or a line in the chorus, and it becomes a new song.
Yeah,
just change the key. And maybe the guy that taught it to you doesn't play the bass line this way, and so then when you learn it, you play it a little different, and then all of a sudden it's a new song. You hear that a lot in like bluegrass and old time. It's just like it's almost the same song, but it's not the same song. It's not. But yeah, it's I can't remember who I was talking to about that. I was like, somebody was joking that so I started doing like lyric videos when I put out new tunes, and they're like, you should put the chords on there too, just to like be like, this is how you play my song.
Dude, actually that's
and I was
that's
like,
cool.
I was like, you're right, and that's totally how it used to be done, like in the 50s, 60s, like folk scene. Is they'd be like, this is how my song is played. When you go to the next town, you play it. I'll play your song, and that's how they would spread. That's how that whole
spread songs.
Yeah, that's how that whole thing came along.
That's actually cool because, like, that's the old way that it makes a lot of sense. So people hopping from town to town, and then they'll tell, like, hey, I learned this song from my buddy over in this next town over. Yeah. And then word of mouth would come, and maybe that guy would come on in. And
everybody knows the song already.
Everybody knows that tune. Like, oh, yeah, we heard this, last week when whoever was playing here. Mm-hmm. That's fucking cool. I didn't know that about that. Yeah. That's cool. Well, shit, dude. We're about 45 minutes in.
Oh, damn.
I know. Here we are. So, you have anything else coming up? Like, what's going on with you?
I'm in the middle of making a record.
Ooh.
I was trying to just do it like through GoFundMe.
Uh-huh.
Since I started making music, I've been dumping my own money into making records, and it's always, you never recoup that really.
Yeah.
And so I was like, maybe I could fund it just through GoFundMe, and I got halfway there.
Hell yeah.
But then I kind of ran out of money. But I hired some guys, and we went to a studio in Indianapolis, and we recorded like 10 songs live to tape.
Sweet. So like a full band situation. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And that's Coyote Bear.
Yeah. And we've got everything was recorded except that I need to redo vocals, and we need to mix because
it
was all live to tape. So the vocals are just like me singing into a 57, like next to the drums.
Sure. Yeah. They were just tracking the instruments and shit like that.
Yeah. So I need to redo my stuff and mix it. But it's mostly done. So that's going on, and I'm hoping to have it done the next month or two.
Sweet.
And I have when will this come out?
Okay, let me think. It'll be like mid-July.
So last week I had a show at
Yeah. Sorry.
North End Pub.
Sorry, dude. I kind of backlogged a few podcasts.
Yeah, it's cool.
Put them, together, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, wait a second, shit. I want to space these out week by week.
Yeah, it's
so.
cool. But yeah, so
we'll
have played a show at North End Pub with the Yoppers.
Do you got anything in August?
I don't have anything else booked aside from that.
Okay.
My main goal is to finish this record.
Yeah.
And then I'll probably, honestly, my next local show will probably be the release party. I'm shooting for like January or February.
Cool. Well, when you do, make sure to come back in and we'll do it ahead of time so that you can make sure to plug the show.
Yeah, sounds good.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, where does everybody find you?
All over the place.
Yeah. What do they search for?
Spotify, YouTube, whatever. It's Coyote Bear, one word.
Coyote Bear.
Also, Traveling Broke and Out of Gas.
Traveling
there's a lot
Broke.
of stuff there.
Hell yeah. Sweet, dude. And where would you say, like, Instagram, Facebook, what's better for you?
Neither.
Neither?
Yeah. Dude, I'm so bad at social media.
Dude, I fucking hate it. I fucking
I
hate it.
understand that it's so important anymore. Like, it's more important than writing and recording as far as, like, pushing your business on music. But, like,
Yeah.
It's so addictive for me, and I get so lost in all the shit in there that, like, I just have to not get on there.
Yeah, I do the same thing, and I have to take weeks off.
Yeah.
And I just gotta fucking be like, I don't care about this shit. Like, it's a bunch of things. Like, everybody's pissed off now, and everybody's not pissed off, and then this side's arguing with this side, and it's just fucking. I don't care about this shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, fuck. There's not enough time in the fucking world to worry about social media shit.
Yeah. So I am on Instagram and I am on Facebook, but like neither of them are really good for keeping up with me. Instagram's probably slightly better.
Cool. So hey, when you come out with this new album, please fucking come back in here and hang with us and have some more brewskis, and maybe we can play some tunes off the album and talk about them.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Cool.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for coming and hanging out. Coyote Bear, everybody. See you next time. Peace.
See ya.